I'll call to order the March 5th, 2025 Fishers Plan Commission meeting. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. DeReamer.
Present.
Mr. Fade.
Here.
Ms. Logan. Here. Mr. Peterson. Mr. Moulter.
Here.
Ms. Stoller. Mr. Richards.
Here.
Ms. Jackson. Ms. Frazier. Here. And Mr. Stevenson.
Here.
Thank you. We do have four.
Thank you. We do have a quorum to conduct business today. Our first agenda item is the election of officers, appointments, and designations, and we will start with the election of president. I would.
Motion to have Howard continue as our president?
Just want to confirm everyone's mics are on.
Oh, sorry. Do you want me to say that again? I motion to elect Howard to continue to be our president.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. The next office is for the election of vice president, and I will make a motion that Pete Peterson continue to serve as our vice president.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next, we have the appointment of secretaries: Ross Hillary, Kevin Martin, Gabrielle Herron, Christy Cashin, and Grace Wiley. I would entertain a motion for that.
Motion to continue with the appointment of secretaries. A second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next is the appointment of recording secretary Kay Prange and Kelly Lewick. Entertain a motion.
A motion.
Any discussion? I'll second.
We have a second. Kay may want to talk to you after the meeting, Brian.
Thank you.
All those in favor use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. And then next is the designation of Plan Commission Legal Counsel with Creek DeVault Law Firm.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please use the voting sign aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. And next, we also, I think I missed this, appointment of Plan Commission member as president of the Fall Creek BZA, Steve Richards.
You gonna stay there? Oh, yes. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please use the voting sign aye.
For a second. Aye.
Any opposed?
Wanted you.
The motion carries. And then lastly, the designation of commission legal publication as Noblesville Times, The Current, and Hamilton County Recorder. Would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please use the voting sign aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion does carry. Thank you. Sorry we had to walk through that laundry list there, but thank everyone for their service. The next matter is the approval of our February 5th, 2025 minutes. Those were circulated to us. Any comments?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor, please use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Thank you. We have approval of our February 5th, 2025 minutes. Thank you. Now we will move to our public hearing items. The first matter is case number RZ-25-22, Hidden Oaks subdivision with an address of 16601 Southeastern Parkway. It's a consideration of a rezone of 5.66 acres from R2 to ER for a single-family residence with a common address of 16601 Southeastern Parkway. And we have Ross Hillary to present for the staff.
Thank you, Plan Commission. For the record, Ross Hillary, Planning and Zoning Director for the City of Fishers. As Howard said, this is RZ 25-2, which is the Hidden Oak subdivision. For context, this property is located off of Southeastern Parkway. It is currently a 0.8 acre area that we are adding to the parcel to the south. As part of the Hidden Oak subdivision. The subdivision will consist of the subject lot as well as 4 lots directly to the north. The subject site is generally located on the west side of Southeastern Parkway and north of East 113th Street. The property is currently zoned R2, but you can see the property directly to the north is zoned ER, which is our state residential. Here's the concept plan showing the new property lines. Part of this adjustment is existing structures on the property that are being added to this new 5.6 acre lot to the south. If we look at our comprehensive plan, this area is designated as low-density suburban residential, which land use is single-family detached residential, anywhere from 1 to 2 units per acre. Staff determined that this did not need a neighborhood meeting because the use itself is not changing. It is single-family and will continue to be single-family, so no neighborhood meeting was required. Staff does request a favorable recommendation tonight from Plan Commission, as this meets the 2040 comprehensive plan, and we truly see this as a cleanup rezone item. We do anticipate, with your recommendation, that this goes before City Council later this month. Happy to answer any questions. Leanne Farrell, the land use planner, is also here to answer any questions.
Thanks, Ross. Any questions for Ross at this time?
Do you have a drawing of the 5 lots, Ross?
I do not have one readily available, but if you look at this zoning one right here, the new lot line would be where that red square is. Lot number 2 would continue where that red square is, all the way to Southeastern Parkway, and lot 3, 4, and 5 are equal 1.5 acres to the north. That was gone through our plat committee, I think, late last year. So a total of 5 lots.
5 lots. Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Thanks, Ross. We'll now hear from the petitioner.
Hello, Leanne Farrell with Steppenworth and Associates. I do not have any additional comments.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I will open the public hearing. If there's anyone from the public who wants to address this matter, please approach the podium and share with us your name and your address. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. And at this time, I will entertain a motion.
I'll motion to send a favorable recommendation to City Council for case RZ-25-2.
I'll second. Oh,
We have a motion and a second. Kay, roll call, please.
Mr. DeReamer,
Aye.
Mr. Fain,
Aye.
Ms. Logan,
Aye.
Mr. Moulter. Aye. Ms. Stoller. Aye. Mr. Richards. Aye. Ms. Frazier. Aye. Mr. Stevenson.
Aye. The motion does carry. Thank you. The next item is case number TA-25-1, 2040 annual update. A consideration of the annual update to the Fishers 2040 comprehensive plan. The Fishers 2040 plan creates long-range planning goals for land use, housing and neighborhoods, transportation and parks. Staff will provide updates on the status of the objectives and actions outlined in Chapter 6, Summary and Implementation and Thoroughfare Plans. And once again, we have Ross Hillary for the staff to present for us.
And your chair said most of the things I was going to say tonight. So for the record, Ross Hillary, Planning and Zoning Director for the City of Fishers. We are happy, as always, to bring forward an annual update to our comprehensive plan. As mentioned, our comprehensive plan has 4 primary chapters, which is our land use, housing, neighborhoods, transportation, parks, and in 2021, we added our implementation chapter, which is what we are talking about tonight. We add that annually before City Council and back to Plan Commission. As a reminder, the 2040 Comprehensive Plan was adopted by City Council in 2016. We had our first 5-year update in 2021, and if we're all doing our math together, that means our next update is in 2026. So we will actually start that process later here in July, and we'll use that time in committees to really do a good thorough update of that. This is 10 years since we've updated it, so I anticipate seeing some major changes. I'm really excited to start that process. I was here for 21, I wasn't here for 16, so excited to be part of that again and your expertise. So just a couple things on our implementation chapter, which is the main portion that we're talking about tonight. That chapter is broken up into action statuses. So we have 230 action items, and what we do every year is update those action statuses. As you can see on the left side, if an action item has not started yet, it will be future or future maintenance. If it is underway, it means we are currently working on it. If it's complete, that means it's complete. If it's new, it was designated in 2021 as part of our first state mandate update. And if it's maintenance, that was something we added to show how items that will never truly be complete are still reflected. So for instance, we will never be done paving roads. So that is an ongoing item that we put into our maintenance chapter, our maintenance section. So you can see in that lovely graph that we added, we have 42 of our action items which are complete or in maintenance. Underway, we have 32% of our items that are underway. Completed, which means we do not have them ongoing. So maybe there was a study we required, are showing at 14%. And then future, which are items that have not started yet, is at 12%. A couple items I also want to call out. The big portion of the comprehensive plan was a focus around our parks. We like to keep a ratio of acreage to residents, but as a growing community, anticipating upwards of 140,000 residents, we have to add additional parkland to keep that ratio. So one of the big things we're excited about this year was the groundbreaking of the Fishers White River Park, which is 125 acres and the first true public access for residents of the White River. We actually broke ground earlier this spring, and it will open to the public later this fall. Another key item that will open up later this year that's been in the works for a couple years, thanks to Council Zimmerman and all the city council members, is the Fishers Community Center, which is another portion of our Parks District. So you can see this year, if you've driven by, it is underway, and we anticipate opening up later this year as well. The transportation chapter, we also update our Thorough map, and that is the map that dictates our road systems. So we have different levels of roads, so whether it's a collector road or arterial, it determines what kind of improvements we see on this. Our engineering department updates this annually based on changes from our own decisions, the administration, as well as the county. So some major updates on here is along Oleo Road as we anticipate projects working with the county, as well as any updates that we've made. We show completed intersections, so Allisonville and 96th Street is now shown as complete, and pending future intersection improvements like Allisonville and 116th are still in that future section. As always, it's not a light read, but I encourage residents to be involved and participate, and so fishersin.gov/2040 is our comprehensive plan, and if approved by council, we will update this section. Happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Ross. I have a question regarding the process starting. I believe you said that will commence in July of this year. What does that entail, and how is that marketed to the community to get involved?
Yeah, so we're still working through some of those, and I anticipate the earliest would be July. So in 2021, we had subcommittees that we reach out to residents if they'd like to participate, leaders in our community on all 4 of those different chapters that we update. Staff will identify some areas that we'd like to make improvements on, but we really then rely on those subcommittees to kind of help and guide us, which is why it seems kind of crazy to start in July, but really not. It'll go fast. So I anticipate us doing a pretty big PR and marketing release around that. I will say in 2021, we used an outside consultant to do that. I feel pretty confident that our team can lead this and working with our community and public relations team, which has really been built up over the past couple of years to help us with that as well. So
Thanks, Rob.
definitely more to come on that as we look towards 2026.
Awesome. Any further questions from board members? Well, I will entertain a motion to send a favorable recommendation, right, Ross, to the City Council for the 2040 annual update.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Kay, roll call.
Mr. DeReamer.
Aye.
Mr. Fain.
Aye.
Ms. Logan.
Aye.
Mr. Moulter. Ms. Stoller. We'll come back to that. Mr. Richards. Aye. Thank you. And Mr. Stevenson.
Aye. Thank you. Unanimous recommendation. Thanks, Ross. I want to just thank the staff for the annual update and also going forward. Ross and Rodney and also the mayor came to my law school class like maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, Ross, and as a part of Ross's presentation, he talked about the Fishers 2040 comprehensive plan, and that is agenda item on my class's syllabus. So the students were very engaged and receptive to that, and I'm going to share this presentation of the update to them as well. So I appreciate what the staff is doing in that regard. Next, any staff communications?
No staff communications.
Okay. Any summary of council action?
Just a couple ones, then I'll let you guys get out of here. So council did have first reading of the Garadot PUD, which is a infill 9.15 acre project along Cumberland Road that will be forward to this committee in April. That is a Pulte development along Cumberland Road. They did hear the first reading of the rezone that you guys approved tonight or recommended approval. And then the big other thing that they had first reading of was a consideration of a text amendment to the UDO. So we've been working about 1.5 years on some major updates to our Unified Development Ordinance, that is our zoning code. And so we took forward, I think, chapter 1, 3, and 5 to council. This next month, we're taking another 2 chapters, and then we'll bring that as a whole to Plan Commission in April. So.
Thank you. Thanks, Ross. Well, seeing no other agenda items, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Good to see everyone. Have a good evening.